The boy asked to marry his older cousin as soon as he was born. The father believes that his son is the chosen one. He quickly promised that even his younger cousin might be paired with him. The boy in his previous life was a generation sword god. He is at the peak of Hua Mountain. He competes with sword god Raphael for the title of the #1 in the world and fights with all his strength. However, he was defeated by just one move and perished. Never expected that he would break through at the brink of death and achieve cultivation success. He is reborn onto the infant young master of the just-born Changyang family. 3 years have passed in a flash. Today is the day of the Fin Sacred Energy test. Thinking that with his power, he might just shock everyone. Fin puts his hand on the stone monument. Symbols appear above the stone monument in an instant. Does he look at Elder and say the symbol is very powerful? Elder sighed deeply and said, after my careful investigation, there is no sacred energy within young master's body. Upon hearing this, family master Chong Yang's expression turned a little unpleasant. On the contrary, third madam's face was full of excitement at this moment. She came to master's side. Since Fin is useless, the future of the Changyang family will have to rely on us, Felix. Later, master transferred all the cultivation resources that were supposed to be allocated to Fin to Felix. Fin is now in a difficult situation. It turns out that the first layer of the Violet Azure Sword Manual he cultivated is focused on strengthening the body. All of his sacred energy has been integrated into tempering his physical body, resulting in no sacred energy left inside his body. He is regarded as a useless person because he has no sacred energy in his body. Fin and his mother's status in the Changyang family also plummeted. For years have passed in the blink of an eye. Over these years, he has come to the library pavilion to read every day. Now, he has finished reading tens of thousands of books in the library pavilion and merged the techniques from the collection with the Violet Azure Sword Manual. He raised his right hand and drew a circle in the palm. He struck the stone pillar of the library pavilion with one palm, and a palm print suddenly appeared on the pillar. After leaving the library pavilion, Fin returned to his residence. He saw his mother with cucumber slices all over her face, doing a facial mask. Fourth Madam placed the remaining cucumber slices on Fin's face. Although the mother and daughter were abandoned by the family, Fin is content to see her mother happy. Fin is preparing to go to the kitchen to get some radish cakes for her mother. Unexpectedly, he was being difficult by a servant. It's not good to spread the rumor that the loser young master of the Changyang family actually sneaked into the kitchen to eat. Nowadays, Fin will no longer spoil these servants. He directly slapped him with a big slap. The servant who mocked him was instantly knocked out by a slap. Do you think I don't know that you've been secretly withholding money intended for my mother these years? From now on, if anything similar happens again, I will deal with it decisively. After saying that, Fin left in high spirits. The rest of the servants watched Fin leave, noticing that the arrogance and dominance were no longer present on his face. Fin's mood has improved a lot. Suddenly, he stopped and looked sideways. I saw third young master Felix practicing martial arts. He's practicing various martial arts moves, such as splitting heads, picking teeth, and cleaning ears. Fin showed a look of disgust upon seeing this. Is third madam's stupid son fooling around again? Does this count as practicing martial arts? At the same time, Felix also noticed Fin walking up with a smug smile on his face. Little brother, come over and practice martial arts with me. Felix never expected it. This will be the darkest day of his life. The two of them arrived at the open space, and Felix asked him to choose a handy weapon. Unexpectedly, Fin only chose a branch as his weapon. Felix's face was full of mockery when he saw that. He thought his brother Fin had gone crazy for choosing just a branch. Later, Felix cursed, "You little loser." He then raised the double-sided axe in his hand and swung it towards him. Fin smirked lightly at the corner of his mouth. he easily dodged the powerful blow with a swift move. Following that, Finn launched his attack. The branch in his hand made a swishing sound as he waved it. The next moment, the branch landed on Felix's shoulder. "Sorry, third brother, you lost." Unexpectedly, Felix did not admit defeat. He believed that Finn had cheated first. Finn, on the other hand, had a playful expression on his face as he asked the other party where he had cheated. Felix was at a loss for words for a moment, his face starting to contort. Felix shouted in anger and embarrassment after a moment. "Anyway, what just happened doesn't count. We'll start over." Finn, in a very good mood, decided not to argue with him anymore and said, "No problem, let's start over." He looks at the Finn in front of him. Felix thinks that the other party, branch, is up to something. So he suggested taking a look at the branch in Finn's hand. Finn casually tossed the branch to him, but Felix unexpectedly caught it and threw it away. Immediately, his face full of killing intent, he attacked him. Seeing the other party turning hostile, Finn's face turned cold. He closed his eyes, his palms turned over, and his mind moved slightly. Control the sword with divine power. Just heard a bang. The branch that was just thrown landed straight on the stone brick in front of him. Felix's face bore traces of having suffered a setback, and his arrogant demeanor from earlier had disappeared without a trace. At this moment, Finn's intimidating threat was full of dominance as he said, "Dare to call me a little loser again, and next time I'll castrate you." At this point, Felix was so scared that he turned around and ran away, while Finn walked briskly in the opposite direction. Suddenly, a dagger attacked him from behind. The dagger landed with a thud in front of Finn. Next, a man with a mask appeared. The man didn't say a word and attacked him immediately. Finn leaped into the air to dodge the opponent. He then threw the branch in his hand towards the man with mask. He raised his palm and circulated chi throughout his body. With a swoosh, the branch wrapped in chi fell straight towards the man with mask. With a click, the branch shattered the man's mask, revealing that the man in front of him was actually his father. Finn's face instantly turned cold. "Finn, why didn't you tell me how to cultivate? What can you do even if Finn pushes away his father's hand and tells you? I am just a family tool to you." After speaking, Finn's face turned gloomy as he turned around and left. At the same time, Uncle Da also walked out from behind the tree. He told Simon. He felt something was wrong when he initially tested that Finn couldn't cultivate. How could he, the chosen one, be unable to cultivate? So he has been observing in secret over the past few years. So Finn has been secretly cultivating sacred energy in the library pavilion. And no one knows about it. So this has led the family to think that he is worthless. Uncle Da then said, "Young Master is a person of great character. If Master is willing to meet him openly and honestly, he will also open his heart to Master." Simon suddenly realized after listening to what Uncle Da said. Half a stick of incense later, Simon brought Finn to the hall and spoke. Although it's not right for Finn to hit someone, Felix shouldn't bully others either. So you two are even now. Third Madam also stepped forward to argue upon seeing the situation. Unexpectedly, she was rebuked by Simon and sent back. Fourth Madam was puzzled to see that the master did not punish his son. Finn told his mother that it was a man-to-man conversation he had with his father. Shortly after, Simon announced he wants Finn to follow Uncle Da to the back mountain to cultivate until he reaches the 8th layer of sacred energy. After speaking, he handed another letter to his son. "Wait until you advance to the 8th layer of sacred energy, then open this letter." 7 years have passed in the blink of an eye. At this time, Finn has already advanced to the sacred energy 8th layer. At this moment, he opens the envelope his father gave him. Inside, there was actually an admission letter. His father said to him, "Your extraordinary talent makes Kargas Academy the most suitable place for you. I didn't expect that he would encounter trouble on the first day of school. Is this what Kargas Academy is like? Then there was a swoosh. The two landed inside the school, and Finn exclaimed, "Wow! There are a lot of people at the academy. How can I find my big brother?" Uncle Da replied with a smile, "Don't worry, eldest young master is easy to find." Soon after, he saw this exaggerated scene. The big banner that Lucas made for Finn. This caused Finn to feel a bit embarrassed. Uncle Da was nearby greeting. "Ha, long time no see. The eldest young master is still as special as ever." Lucas stepped forward to say hello. Uncle Da said, "Young master, master has always missed you." Upon hearing this, Lucas immediately became unhappy and said, "Uncle Da, don't mention him. I have nothing to do with him." Later, he looked at Finn with surprise and said happily, "Finn has grown so big." Later, he made a promise to Finn. "In the future, whoever dares to bully you at the academy, come find me. Big brother will help you vent your anger." Uncle Da then instructed the eldest young master to take the little young master around the academy. "I have something to discuss with the principal, Lucas." Turning around, he replied, "Uncle Da, rest assured, leave it to me. I will definitely take Finn to explore the academy properly." Finn felt touched and thought, "Huh? This big brother seems unreliable, but quite dependable." And then only to see Lucas pointing with his finger in place. "This," he said proudly. "All right, this is Kargas Academy, introduction complete." At this moment, Finn was suddenly speechless. Although he thought, listening to one's words is better than 1,000 pieces of gold, he couldn't help but think, I take back what I said earlier, this big brother is unreliable. At this moment, Lucas said, "Tomorrow is the day of the freshman martial arts tournament. I signed you up. Getting along with others shows that you have integrated into the new environment." Finn felt embarrassed and immediately replied, "Big brother, did you misunderstand the meaning of getting along again? It's the freshman competition. It's going to be exciting. You must perform well. This is your registration qualification." As he spoke, he put the pentagonal badge on Finn's chest. Finn was speechless for a while, thinking to himself, this big brother is a bit too enthusiastic. I have no interest in the competition at all. I might as well just forfeit directly. Lucas suddenly exclaimed, "Oh, I forgot to bring your registration materials." "Then, you go to the cafeteria first. I'll go get the materials." After saying that, he left, leaving Finn standing there alone, speechless, thinking, did he just leave me like this? This big brother is really... In the blink of an eye, Finn arrived at the cafeteria. He looked at the delicious food on the table and said to himself, "The food is cheap and delicious. Even students from humble backgrounds can afford to eat here. No wonder Kargas Academy is known for its emphasis on equality for the rich and the poor." Suddenly, someone slapped the table and shouted, "Hey! This table is ours. Go eat somewhere else, Finn." Finn went to the cafeteria to have a meal, but ended up being bullied. His unreliable big brother rushed in to save the day. At this moment, a young man said fiercely, "Hey, I'm talking to you. Can't you hear me?" Finn calmly replied, "If you want to eat, sit down and eat together. This table belongs to the academy. Since when did it become yours?" The young man immediately glared and shouted, "You don't deserve to eat with us. I'll ask you one more time, are you going to leave or not?" The blonde beauty behind urged, "Second brother, why be polite with him? Just drive him away directly." Finn replied displeasedly, "I will naturally leave. Let me finish my food first. If you don't want to sit, then stand and wait." The young man and the yellow-haired girl simultaneously angrily shouted, "If you don't accept the toast, you'll have to drink the penalty. How dare you talk to us like this? Do you know who we are?" At that moment, another red-haired boy squinted his eyes and walked over, saying, "This classmate, judging by your fine uniform, you must also come from a noble background. What is your name?" And which family do you belong to? He then sat down and said, although the Academy strictly prohibits nobles from oppressing commoners, the Academy does not interfere in the struggles between nobles. He immediately changed his expression and said fiercely, do you believe I can make it so you can never set foot in the Academy again? The commotion over here attracted the attention of others, who exclaimed, it's the 3 siblings from the Cuddy family. How did this freshman provoke them? Meanwhile, Finn, eating noodles, thought to himself, bringing up one's family background and talking tough. I've seen too much of that in my past life. How naive. Seeing Finn ignore them, the red-haired boy angrily shouted, hey, I'm talking to you. The yellow-haired girl also chimed in, punk, who do you think you are? My big brother is talking to you. Cuddy family, the second's anger rose sharply. He swooped the tablecloth away with a swish. He stepped on the tablecloth and rushed towards Finn, shouting, I'll make you eat this. He threw a punch at Finn, who just slightly dodged to the side. He avoided the attack. Then he took advantage of the situation and struck Cuddy family the second on the back with a palm. Cuddy family the second instantly lost their balance. He fell to the ground, and Finn made a joke. Restless, unstable footing. Your kung fu skills are lacking. You dare to make fun of me? Cuddy family the second angrily shouted as he came to his senses. I must kill you today. Don't fight. A person eating at the nearby table, Fatty, interjected. He then stood up with the support of the table and said, I'm done eating, my seat is yours. The second said angrily, get lost, this is none of your business. I saw Fatty with a big smile on his face. Everyone is classmates here, let's not start a conflict. Cuddy family the second was furious. How dare you, Fatty, think you can talk to me? He yelled as he punched Fatty. Fatty patted his clothes and grinned. If you really want to hit someone, then hit me. I have tough skin and thick flesh, not afraid of pain. Looking at Cuddy the second in pain while clutching his fist, Cuddy family the third smirked and said, this Fatty is actually asking for a beating? Second brother, you should teach him a lesson. This comment was like adding fuel to the fire. The second gritted his teeth angrily. Idiot, you brought this upon yourself. At this moment, Finn shouted, enough. If you have any issues, come at me and don't involve others. At this moment, the first said with a grim expression, second brother, stop. It is strictly forbidden to have conflicts between the nobles and the commoners in the academy. The commotion here has attracted the attention of others. A girl exclaimed, hey, it seems like a fight is breaking out over there. A boy next to her urged, it's Romeo. Let's go quickly and don't get involved. On the other hand, Finn was threatened by the first of the Cuddy family, saying, hey, have you offended the Cuddy family? Do you not want to stay at the academy anymore? After all, the conflicts between the nobles are not intervened by the academy. You don't want to have your hands and feet disrupted, do you? Just leave the academy. Finn disdainfully said, do you want to start a fight? As soon as he finished speaking, a figure flew over and shouted, let me see who dares to touch my young brother. There was a click sound. Lucas stomped a hole in the table with one foot and exclaimed in disbelief, what? This flimsy table broke just like that. Behind him, Finn was speechless and tearful, saying, could you please have a more normal way of making an entrance, big brother? Lucas held a stack of papers in one hand and pointed at Cuddy family the first with the other, saying, Romeo, do you want a one-on-one match? I'll spar with you. Finn, possessed by the sword god of the generation, has just arrived at the academy. He encountered others conspiring to deceive a girl that very night, ready to play the hero and save her, just as Lucas was angrily confronting Romeo. He suddenly realized something. He hurriedly handed the woods in his hand to Finn and said, oh, young brother, this is the registration materials for you to participate in the freshman martial arts tournament. Finn took it and asked, is it time to submit registration materials now? Romeo, upon hearing that Finn was participating in the freshman martial arts tournament, then asked, "This kid is actually your young brother?" Lucas introduced Finn with an embrace. "Is he as talented as I am?" Ha ha ha. Another stranger appeared before their eyes. The second questioned, "Who are you?" The third echoed, "Do you dare to provoke our Cuddy family? Aren't you afraid of death?" At this moment, Romeo thought to himself, "Lucas, this crazy dog is not easy to deal with. With him around, I can't handle this guy and can only think of another way." After thinking, he turned around and left, leaving the second and the third bewildered. At this time, Lucas looked pleased. "How about that, big brother, aren't you feeling proud?" Finn awkwardly responded, "This matter is probably not that simple." At this moment, the second and the third caught up with Romeo and asked, "Who is that fool who just arrived?" "His name is Lucas, and he's a very stubborn fool. Big brother, are we just going to let this go?" "How could we just let this go?" Later, he smirked and said, "That kid also signed up for the freshman martial arts tournament. You guys will have to kill him in the competition. Lucas won't be able to say anything. Anyone who dares to offend members of our Cuddy family will die." The scene changes, and at this moment Finn walks while thinking. Big brother is really something, saying that he suddenly has something to do, and hurriedly leaving. He was all alone and couldn't help but cry, saying, "It's my first day here. I'm not familiar with the place. I don't even have a friend to hang out with." Then he suddenly remembered that he did have a friend, Fatty, whom he met today. He happily exclaimed, "That guy is quite fun." Then he looked at the materials in his hand and said helplessly, "I have no interest in this boring freshman competition. I might as well forfeit. I'll just wander around the campus and see what Imperial Academy, the #1 academy, is like." Before long, Finn arrived at the small grove. He quietly crouched behind a tree and saw the scene before him. Then he felt shy and thought to himself. In his past life, he was in a sect. Junior siblings are also hiding in the small grove like this. It seems that no matter where you are, people all have desires and emotions. Suddenly, the sound of cameras clicking comes, only to see several men in black sneakingly ran over. Then took a look and pondered. They look suspicious, most likely up to no good. Soon after, a chubby person in school uniform said, "I have investigated already. She will pass by here soon. Get ready to ambush her, pretend to harass her, and I will heroically save her." The man in black replied, "Big brother, rest assured, we will act convincingly. To help Big brother pursue girls, we are willing to take risks." He then reminded, "She is a gentle lamb, so you must be gentle. Got it? Understood." As Finn hiding nearby heard this, he was speechless and thought, "Such a cliché and uncreative trick." He muttered to himself, "I can't pretend not to see through this cheap trick to deceive girls." Saying that, he swiftly leaped and disappeared. By this time, night had fallen, and only the sound of footsteps could be heard. The man who was on a date nearby also had stars in his eyes when he saw the newcomer. Just then, a long-haired beauty walked over. Suddenly, several men in black appeared in front of her. One of the men in black smirked and said, "Hey there, girl. How about keeping this gentleman company? Aren't you afraid of being lonely by yourself?" The beauty exclaimed in fear, "What are you trying to do? Don't come any closer." One of the men in black leaned forward and said, "What are you afraid of?" "Little girl, come here. Let your big brother touch you." Just as his hand reached toward the beauty. Beauty seized the wrist of the man in black, then she unexpectedly grabbed his arm. With a bang, she slammed him to the ground. The other two were shocked when they saw it, saying, "What is this? Where is the gentle little lamb we agreed upon?" But deep down, they were wondering, could this be it saying the most cowardly words, yet fighting ruthlessly? Just entered school, Finn saw an injustice and tried to save the beauty, but was mistaken by beauty as Big Brother Man in Black. Unable to explain clearly, facing the man in black in front of her, Beauty clapped her hands and said, "Although I don't like fighting, I won't be soft on bad guys." At this moment, Finn appeared by the side, holding the leader who had just been dealt with, saying, "Hey, I didn't expect this girl, who looks gentle, to be so tough in a fight." At this time, two men in black turned their heads and shouted at the same time, "Big brother! Help!" Finn looked puzzled and exclaimed, "Who is your big brother? Don't shout randomly." He turned around and realized that the real big brother had already escaped. Beauty obviously misunderstood something. Looking angry, she said, "You are their leader? Then you should be taught a lesson." Finn on this side anxiously shouted, "Wait, miss, there is a misunderstanding." Beauty wouldn't listen to such nonsense and shouted, "Villain, bring it on!" As she said this, she released sacred energy all over her body and rushed towards Finn. At this moment, one of the two men in black beside them pointed at Finn and asked, "Who is that guy, and where is our big brother?" The other one urged, "Forget about him, it's none of our business. Let's take this opportunity to escape." Looking at Finn, he sighed, "Oh well." He suddenly struck a pose and said, "I'm bored anyway. Let me see what this girl is capable of." Just then, a beauty suddenly appeared and used the technique to shout loudly, "Both of you, stop!" Finn was surrounded by red light at that moment and exclaimed in surprise, "My body is frozen?" Beauty also exclaimed in surprise, "Teacher!" At this moment, Beauty's teacher released the technique with one hand and said coldly, "The Academy has a rule that strictly prohibits fighting privately. Have you forgotten it?" Beauty quickly explained, "Teacher, I'm sorry, I was wrong. But he is a bad person. Didn't you say we must never let bad people go?" Teacher Beauty replied calmly, "I will handle the situation. You go back and continue to cultivate." Beauty nodded in agreement and then left. She even made a funny face when she passed by Finn, which made Finn very annoyed. He saw Teacher Beauty walking towards him. Finn was shocked and thought, "Auntie, please speak clearly. Things are not at all as disciple described. You let me explain." Beauty Teacher approached with a puzzled expression. "The power within you seems a bit unusual." Finn immediately broke out in a cold sweat, thinking to himself, "Could it be? Can she tell that I am reborn?" At this moment, Teacher Beauty comforted him, saying, "Don't be nervous. I am never curious about other people's secrets, even if you are a little guy from the Chongyang family." Finn thought to himself at this moment, "Does this Andy happen to know me?" Suddenly, Teacher Beauty coldly said, "However, before that, you have to prove that you are worth living. Otherwise, I will kill you myself." Saying that, she activated her technique. She conjured a pink light orb in front of Finn. Finn was shocked and thought, "Is this person crazy? Andy, do we have any grudges or grievances?" Then, Beauty Teacher was seen, crossing her arms. She is brewing sacred energy in her palm and saying, "Chongyang family kid, remember what I said." At this moment, a circle of pink halos surrounded Finn. Finn is gradually engulfed by the energy and panic. At this moment, Teacher Beauty sneered and said, "Consider this your welcome gift." Just when Finn was completely puzzled, suddenly, they appeared in a clearing in the woods. Finn quickly checked and exclaimed in fear, "This is teleportation spell." Just as Finn was shocked, a voice suddenly came from behind. "Young brother." It turns out it was Finn's older brother Lucas. At this moment, Lucas, holding his stomach, asked, "How did you end up here?" Seeing that it was Lucas, Finn quickly went forward to check on him. "Big brother, what happened? How did you get injured so badly?" Lucas explained that he wanted to come to the back mountains to kill a monster to get a first stage magic core to give to you. However, he accidentally attracted a third stage monster, and I got hit a few times. He then took out a magic core and said that he thought he was going to die here, but he didn't expect you to show up. He's afraid he won't be able to hold on much longer, so he decided to give the magic core to you. Have you ever seen such an unreliable elder brother? He signed up his younger brother for the newcomer competition. Was he just betting on him all along? At this moment, Lucas handed the magic core to Finn and instructed, "You are going to participate in the freshman martial arts tournament soon. This core can help enhance your strength when the time comes." Finn held the magic core and moved, saying, "Big brother, did you say you had something to do during the day, but you were actually out helping me get the magic core?" Lucas replied, "You are my younger brother. Big brother doesn't have much ability, so I can only do these things for you." He then shakily left and said, "Freshman martial arts tournament. Little brother, you must perform well." Looking at his big brother, Finn thought, "Is this competition really that important? Big brother risked his life to obtain the magic core for me." Suddenly, Lucas plopped down on the ground with a thud. Then he actually lay down, leaving Finn puzzled and asking, "Big brother, what are you doing?" Lucas, with a dazed look in his eyes, said, "Young brother, I can only help you till this point. Remember to bring my ashes back." Before he could finish speaking, Finn awkwardly interrupted, saying, "Big brother, can we stop joking around? I just checked your wounds. They are all superficial injuries. Although serious, it won't be fatal." Lucas, upon hearing this, exclaimed in surprise, "Oh, I won't die." He then burst into laughter and said, "I thought I was done for." He got so excited that he vomited blood. Finn, tearing off a piece of cloth from his clothes, speechless, muttered, "I admire this big brother of mine. If I weren't here, you would have probably bled to death from loss of blood." He then tied the cloth strip to Lucas' wound. He said, "The bleeding has temporarily stopped. Just hurry back to the academy for treatment. Big brother, you will be fine." Lucas patted Finn's head and said with relief, "Young brother, well done. You truly deserve the praise of Uncle Duff for being a genius." Just as the two were about to leave, Teacher Beauty unexpectedly appeared behind them. She said to herself, "Have you caught up? But the road ahead is still long, little devils of the Chong-Yong family." The next day, at the Academy's martial arts arena, the crowd walking on the road were all discussing matters related to the competition. At this moment, the crowd inside the arena was in an uproar, with emotions running high. Finn, with eyes gleaming, said, "It's no wonder this is the Kargas Academy freshman competition. It has created such a grand scene." Soon, a loud voice rang out, startling the people who were entering the venue. I saw Lucas waving a flag and shouting for Finn. "Young brother, come on. I can put out all my assets to bet on you to win." Finn immediately awkwardly gave Lucas a thumbs up. He sighed in his heart. With such a big brother, how could I not worry about being embarrassed to death? Suddenly, a man holding a folding fan said, "Dear students, I am Vice Dean Eric from Kargas Academy. Today's freshman martial arts tournament will be hosted by me," he said.